Okay. Do hit all the right
Recording
buttons.
in progress.
Hello, everyone. So wonderful to be together with you guys today. A sunny day, a week after our snow. We were just talking about all the snow coming down and dealing with it this week. Just incredible. I don't think I've ever experienced 2 weeks of under freezing weather at this latitude, living near Washington, D.C. Crazy. And going outside and walking outside, like walking my dog when it's, what was it today? 19 degrees, but feels like 3 with the, no, and I mean, I guess people in North Dakota or Minnesota are laughing at us, but it's also, you bundle up, you make sure you got all your layers, and it's pretty invigorating, actually. So important to stay safe. Okay, let's see what else I need to do. I think I need to, I was somewhere where I could mute all of you, but I'll let you guys mute yourselves because I can't find where to mute all of you. What do you got there, Kathy? Oh, unmute yourself to share. Lavender.
I have my lavender. Did you guys remember your essential oils for today's?
Oh, did I mention it yet last week? I forgot. If I don't write it all down, thank you for remembering. You know what I've been putting on? Our friend Jackie, who might show up, she sent me as a gift a blend of an oil, which I put in my baths. It's got frankincense and myrrh and other stuff in it, and a balm that I've been putting on this shoulder that's been digging and digging. So yes, so if you have your essential oils, it'd be great to put a little on your forehead or your wrists, your neck. Yeah, that's super nice. Let me do this. Okay. All righty. So preparing, I see. So some of you have already just gotten into the position you'd like to be in. Remember that for this mini movement and meditation, you can do this seated, you can do it lying down, you can do what I'm doing. I probably will, I'll join you. I think we'll get down on the ground in a little bit for the movement part. Very slight movements. We'll be working with our eyes and pattern interruption. And but first, let's arrive. Oh, I like to start with my bell. We made it. So notice what changes are happening in your body as you're just arriving. It's like a commitment to, oh, I'm here. And it's not even, commitment makes it sound like it's something difficult to do, a little difficult. It's just like, we so know that feel of arriving after maybe being on a trip to go visit Edisto Beach, South Carolina. It takes about 10 hours from my house and with stops. But when you arrive, your trip is finally over, the unburdening, the lifting of that, driving and sitting, and then the seeing friends, perhaps if you're visiting, or whoever you're meeting, or the new place you're visiting, the excitement of a vacation. I've shared this often. I have one cousin who, whenever you see her, when you meet her, whether you're coming to her house or she comes over, wherever you see her, she makes like a celebration of greeting you, of, oh, like you haven't seen each other in eons, and even if you have, and she makes you feel so special. And that's one of my images that comes with arriving. So for a few more moments, let yourself feel arriving and see what stories you have that come with arriving. And I've been saying very positive ones. There may be things that ring more challenging, some kinds of arrival. So let that all have a seat at the table. About our experience of arriving. And then let's turn to my favorite three, one of my favorite three pointers to help us sort of stay. Sort of help us stay. And I use the words ground, sound, breath. Each one is a whole chapter we can explore. I'll guide you over the next couple minutes. Let's start with breath, even though I said it last. I like the flow of ground, sound, breath, and I usually use ground first. But today, as we've arrived a bit already, mentally, sensorially, let's notice our breathing right here and now. And even notice where did your attention go in your body or elsewhere as I invite us to explore our breath. Just as it is right here now. And very likely our attention will often go to the places that are the squeakiest, the squeaky wheel, right? So when I first uttered that word to come to our breath, I went to sort of right inside the column between my throat, heart, and belly, and I could feel that it was kind of restricted, constricted. And so we just see, and immediately as you visit there, if you notice that same kind of somewhat restricted area, because we know this practice is part of what we're doing is letting go. Um, and attending and arriving in hopefully a feel of safety together with the spaces we're in. And all that helps us to let go, the feelings of safety that we have. And so it's changing moment by moment, how we're sensing the breath. You might notice how shoulders move, how your belly, lower belly moves, how even the whole skin, the whole this sack this of skin that contains our physical body, how it changes its feel. I often feel like the skin softens a little bit as I just allow my breathing to be free and unrestricted. And ground as you can continue to have some attention on the breath as you start to feel the body parts that are touching the ground. And for me, just my feet are bare. They feel the carpet underneath and that particular texture. Um, my legs, I could say they feel the cushion under my tush, the cushion under my right leg, and my left leg touches the carpet. But really, they're feeling my pants, my clothing. but it's also registering the weight of me, the weight being pulled down by gravity, held in place by gravity. And so all these words and guides, if you're noticing, it brings you to right here. This is the gift of our attention, bringing our attention to the ground sound breath takes us to that portal of now. At the same time that we're feeling this downward pull, and if you're laying down on the ground or on a bed, more of you is touching the ground and being pulled, and you're feeling that same pull or hug of gravity. I like to think of it as Earth hugging us to herself. But there is an equal and opposite force of levity from gravity. And so the more we can give ourselves to gravity, we can also then allow the levity, the softness upward. It helps us sit upright easily, or just helps, keep us relaxed as we're in a position that might be more supported, more fully supported body. And the third one, sound. Sound. Breath, ground, sound. What sounds are coming to you? My voice. Sometimes on these recordings, I hear this slight background sound that's to me sort of annoying, and I think it's because the heat vent is pretty nearby, and in the background, sometimes it picks it up. Oh, it cut off now. Not today, as it's cold and wintry, but often I would hear birds or something. I'm not hearing much of anything from the windows outside me. And notice how your body feels, how your mind kind of opens to be listening for sound. Connects us, the inside of us, the ear and its delicate, interesting architecture, and then the nerve signals that get sent to the brain, very deep into us, connects us with everything out there. So we start to realize a little more, just viscerally, that connection by attending to sound. So this right now moment, it's where a big part of what we're doing when we practice meditation is just to touch into that now that's always here. The eternal moment keeps being available through what we experience as time. But we're often pulled into the time bound, into the impermanent, into the changing. So I'm going to share a poem that I just learned from my teacher, Russell Delman, on light. And I think that light is another quality as we get still and feel now. Light is illuminating, clarifying, warming. It's also abundantly available. Sometimes it may feel like there's barely any light at all. The darkest day of the year and a moonless night, or more metaphorically in our lives, but it is always there. So this poem is by St. Thomas Aquinas. It's called, "What Does Light Talk About?" When you recognize her beauty, the eye applauds. The heart stands in an ovation. And the tongue, when she is near, is on its best behavior. It speaks more like light. "What does it talk about?" I asked a plant that once. It said, "I am not sure, but it makes me grow." I asked a plant, "What does the light talk about?" It said, "I am not sure, but it makes me grow." And so I'm going to just slide us right into 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes. Yeah, maybe 6, maybe even 7 minutes of stillness, just where you are. So moving from the arriving portion, the coming into now without denying all the rest that is all around us and happening that is intersects. If you think of the now as a vertical, it's like you can always drop in, it's always right here. And the horizontal as what's always moving, changing in the time, world of time. All that is here and where we intersect right here in our meditation, in our stillness, in our silence. And then we'll do our movement at the end. So feel free to make an adjustment that makes that you feel supported, comfortable. And remember that as you find yourself in the more horizontal realm of um, ruminating on something, of solving a problem, of feeling like it's hard to sit still, to be still. The moment you notice that, or the moments, realize that that's a wonderful that you noticed, and there's no problem whatsoever with any of these horizontal activities, this material changing, always changing life. It is what we are, but it is not the deepest of what we are. And so we can celebrate and go, I'm going to come right back, maybe by taking a breath, maybe by saying the word arrive, maybe by feeling the ground. I come right back to the vertical, eternal now. And so enjoy, allow yourself to keep letting go into this now with a attentiveness, a greeting, open heart and mind. If you start to feel yourself pulled toward a lethargy or a um, sleepiness, a couple things you can do. One is turn your palms downward and have a little more um, information coming through the rich palm side of the hand, as if listening with the palms. And you could also, and you could just open your eyes just enough to let some light in. Just the tiniest bit. To bring in that little bit of alertness. At the times that you notice that you're in a deep relaxation, and sometimes right when we notice it, it takes us out of it. But I just notice what labels you give it, what the labels would be. Meditating deeply. So I'm taking us a little bit out of just only a meditation practice into a little inquiry. And if no words come, maybe it's an expression with your hands or your arms. Maybe just marinating in the feeling of letting go. And if you can bring that to a succinct kind of message for yourself, a little note to yourself to squirrel away, a sticky, like on a sticky. Mine might be right now warm sunlight. Feels like it's entering my body, helping letting go. And then shift to shift to what's in the way of letting go. Just an open question, not forcing it. And maybe that's not your experience right now. Maybe letting go is easily available. But you could even reflect through our meditation together or the whole practice so far. And maybe there was something that came strongly to you about letting go, or maybe it was just kind of on the edges, but you know it's there, that resistance to letting go into the now. Let that inquiry be held by the same, hopefully, feeling of safety of the place you're in, our community together here supporting you, all the community of kindness, benefactors you've had in your life, them you may still have. Some of them still with you, some not with you. Sometimes I even feel the trees are my benefactors. I love the trees, all the trees. You may notice, even as you're inquiring thus, that your body shifts a little more tension. What's in the way? And then a final question as you leave that one. So we had the feel of letting go, the feel of what's in the way, and whatever shorthand you could note that. And the final question, the third question is, who would you be when you can let go? Who would you be when you can let go? This might be pulling us into a little bit into imagination, but certainly drawing from experience or hope or some model that lives in us that we already probably are. We have the capacity for it. We've probably done it, and we may just want to remember that a little bit better. Connect it to this possibility of letting go, into this now moment. It's a letting go a little bit of all the mental chatter. It's a letting go physically. Who would we be? And then to bring us to a close, we'll do just the tiniest bit of movement. My timing was, I didn't scrunch everything in today. Let's roll your head. I'm sitting, so I'll do this from sitting. If you're on the ground, just roll your head from side to side. Let your eyes go with the head, and even go a little farther as you roll your head all the way to the left. Let the eyes pull even a little farther to the left. They come back with you, center, and over to the right. And then you might be able to do this without stopping, or you might need to stop. Let the eyes go in the opposite direction of the left and right movement. So as your head rolls right, your eyes go left. Go gently. For some of us, this is a really uncomfortable feeling. A little nausea comes on for me. And then let the movement again be together. Eyes and head go in the same direction. Pause, come to a stop. Who would you be when letting go is possible? And so gently, perhaps because you're in the luxury of your own space, if you would like, you can just stay right where you are. And if you choose to stay there, that's fine. You can kind of just do the imaginary bow. Which I didn't start our meditation with a bow, which I usually do, but we can come together in a bow, either at seated or laying down, wherever you are. I have to remember my friend on Monday who taught, she had a beautiful, beautiful little blessing at the end. I'll have to ask her again. It was really nice. Thank you so much for joining me, you all, on YouTube or on Zoom in a live moment or later. I do want to note today, I got a chance to do a workshop with Teresa Murphy and Annie at Sun and Moon. Today is February 1st, 2026. They're doing a series together. Teresa is a visiting teacher from, I think she lives in Massachusetts now. She's often come to our studio. She's a really her teachings are so delicious. She studied with Eric Shifton, with Sarah Powers, and others. They are doing a series on death as teacher, which can sound a little morbid if you never touch into, say, the Buddhist kind of ideas or even some yogic ones. And actually, this question of who would you be came from her, and I've worked with it in other contexts too from last night. I took there yesterday afternoon, the segment. I was going to share that tonight, there's two possibilities you might want to dive into. Tonight, they're offering, I'm going to be doing this by Zoom. It's a 1 hour meditation at 6 o'clock Eastern time for meditation for turbulent times. There's a suggested donation for that online. I think it's $15. And this afternoon, if you feel all of a sudden inspired by what I've just shared and about Teresa or about this topic, I think today they started on Friday night's session, which I didn't attend, was about the sort of cultural ideas about death and some practical kind of things in our society and culture. Yesterday's was the one I attended was on the relational aspects of death, and as we might be attending to others in our lives or friends who have lost other people, or when we lose someone close, pets. I kind of opened this to even losses, not just death of a permanent physical death, but grieving losses that we have. And today's is more about our own personal, probably mortality. So it's a 2.5 hour segment, I believe. You can do it on Zoom. They're offering it in the Fairfax studio if you want to go live. And I'm not sure what time this afternoon. So you've got time, a few minutes if you have to check if you'd like to do that. So I'm going to end the recording. Thank you all for joining and being the part of the community support that makes this possible. See you next time. So I'm going to keep
recording stopped.
I'm going to keep the Zoom open for those of us who want